Hey folks, I'd like to talk about the double angle identities, also known as the double number identities. We've touched on these a couple times in previous sections, so this isn't going to be brand new, but at this point we'll start using these double angle identities. The first one I'd like to look at is the cosine of double A, or 2 times A. One of the things that we looked at in a previous section is that we can change 2 times A into A plus A. And once we have this, we can use our sum identity for cosine. Remember, that identity is cos minus sine. And so we just plug that into our equation there, and once we have that, then we can simplify that a little further to be able to say cosine squared minus sine squared. Now, this is a good angle, double angle identity right here. This is a good one to know. But there's also, I can take this even a little bit further if I only wanted cosines in my identity, or if I only wanted sines in my identity. I could use some of my Pythagorean identities. So for the first one, what we want to do is I want to take out cosine squared, and I want to replace it with what it's equal to. And so we know that cosine squared is equal to 1 minus sine squared. And once I've done that, then I can combine my like terms and have 1 minus 2 sine squared. If I go back up to that identity up here, cosine squared minus sine squared, I can do the same thing by replacing the sine squared with my Pythagorean identity as well. And so that's what I want to do next. I can leave alone the cosine squared minus, and then take sine squared out and replace it with 1 minus cosine squared. And once again, I can combine my like terms. Just don't forget to distribute your negative. So when you distribute that minus sign to the cosine squared, that's going to end up being a positive. So you have cosine squared plus cosine squared. And so that's going to give you 2 cosine squared minus 1. We can do the same thing for the sine double angle identity. So the sine of A plus A, I can now use my sum identity for sine. So this will be sine cos plus sine cos. And since these are 2 identical terms, I simply have 2 of them. So this will simplify to 2 times sine of A cosine of A. Last but not least, let's look at the tangent double angle. So same as we did with the other ones, we can say that that's the tangent of angle A plus angle A. And then we can use our tangent sum identity. And the tangent sum identity would be tan plus tan all over 1 minus tan tan. And then we can simplify that. So up on top, these are like terms, so I can add those. And down on bottom, I'm multiplying 2 identical things. And so I'll have 2 times the tangent of A all over 1 minus tangent squared of A.